noticed Dexter's eerie composure at crime scenes, where others would typically be disturbed. Determined to prove his suspicions, Dokes began tailing Dexter, eventually finding enough clues to suspect that he was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Dokes' investigation led him to break into Dexter's apartment and steal his box of blood slides, clear evidence that Dexter was a killer. The investigation finally reached its peak at a remote cabin in the Everglades, where Dokes caught Dexter in the act.
Jesus Christ, Morgan. Jesus fucking Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
After a struggle, Dexter managed to imprison Dokes in a cage, but was faced with the moral dilemma of whether to kill Dokes or not. However, fate intervened when Lila killed Dokes by blowing up the cabin, believing it would protect Dexter, making Dokes one of Dexter's unintended victims, which brings me on nicely to the next person. One of the only people to find out Dexter was a serial killer and accept him, Lila West, entered Dexter's life as his Narcotics Anonymous sponsor. At first, she seemed to offer him emotional support, helping him deal with his addiction to murder under the disguise of heroin abuse. But Lila quickly developed an unhealthy obsession with Dexter, sensing a darkness in him that fascinated her.
I'm the only one who can see behind it, and it doesn't scare me. It's why we belong together.
Their relationship grew intimate, and they became lovers, though Dexter eventually ended it after realizing her instability. Lila's fixation on Dexter only intensified after the breakup, leading her to discover more about his violent side. In her most drastic act, Lila found Dokes imprisoned in the cabin and chose to kill him by setting off an explosion rather than freeing him, thinking this would protect Dexter and finally get him to love her again. It didn't, and Lila ended up wrapped in plastic, something which I was so happy to see. Oh my god. The next person was Miguel Prado, a charismatic Miami district attorney who was one of Dexter's few friends, actually. When Miguel witnessed Dexter holding a bloody knife over the body of Fred Bowman, he saw a rare opportunity to take justice into his own hands by partnering with a killer. Miguel encouraged Dexter to act on his instincts, eventually presenting him with targets he felt deserved to die. The two men bonded over their shared frustration with the justice system, and Miguel, kind of like Harry, saw Dexter as a trusted ally who could take care of criminals slipping through the legal loopholes. However, Miguel's lust for violence soon spiraled beyond Dexter's control. After Miguel murdered Ellen Wolf, a defense attorney who had done nothing to warrant death, Dexter recognized that his friend, who saw him as a killer, had to go, and Miguel ended up dead. One of the most underrated characters of the show, in my opinion, Lumen Pierce, stumbled upon Dexter's secret by accident. A recent victim of Jordan Chase, Lumen was haunted by her traumatic experiences when she witnessed Dexter killing Boyd Fowler, one of her attackers. Dexter came very close to choosing to kill Lumen, but he ended up sparing her as she was innocent.
So what's your plan here? Nurse her back to health so she can go to the police? She gives the cops enough to track you down, then everything falls apart. Harrison grows up visiting you on death row.
Although she initially feared Dexter, she eventually grew to trust him, recognizing him as someone who could help carry out revenge on the men who had harmed her. Dexter in turn saw Lumen a reflection of his own need for vengeance, and he agreed to help her hunt down the remaining members of the Barrel Girl Gang. Their partnership grew into a deep mutual understanding and eventually a romantic relationship. Together, they eliminated the men responsible for her suffering, each kill bringing Lumen a step closer to closure. However, once the last member of the gang was dead, Lumen's desire for vengeance faded, and she chose to leave Dexter, her need for violence no longer there. Her departure left Dexter with a sense of loss and made him think that he could never achieve true companionship because of his dark nature. Lumen was the first person to discover Dexter's true identity and not end up dead. One of the most disgusting characters in the show, Jordan Chase, was a successful motivational speaker with a dark side. He was the leader of the Barrel Girl Gang, responsible for the horrific abuse of women. When Chase realized that Dexter and Lumen were targeting his accomplices, he became aware that Dexter was a serial killer. Although he never discovered that Dexter was the infamous Bay Harbor Butcher, he quickly understood that Dexter was no beginner to murder and was willing to kill to protect Lumen and serve justice. In a tense final showdown, Dexter and Lumen confronted Chase, ending his life and dismantling his criminal enterprise. Jordan Chase's death was a moment of justice for Lumen and a small moral victory for Dexter, who felt a fleeting sense of purpose through their partnership. Nicholas Galway's discovery of Dexter's secret is one of the most unusual in this video, both for how it happens and how quickly he forgets. Dexter visited Nicholas Galway at the retirement home in the confessional booth as part of an investigation. Galway had a connection to one of Dexter's victims, and Dexter needed to confirm details from Galway's past to fully understand his victim's background and motives. However, when Dexter arrived, he quickly realized that Galway, now elderly and suffered from severe dementia, could barely recognize anyone, greeting him as if he was an old friend. Seeing Galway's confused state, in a rare moment of honesty, Dexter confessed his darkest secret, saying aloud that he was a serial killer.
I've killed people. A lot of people.
At first, Galway responded as a faithful Catholic might, reminding Dexter that murder is a mortal sin, yet within moments, he forgets the conversation entirely.
Where were we?
Dexter thanked Galway and left, feeling great. In this strange moment, Dexter got a brief release from his secret, safely confessing to someone who would never remember it. Deborah Morgan, Dexter's adoptive sister, discovered his secret in one of the best moments of the show. She walked in on Dexter at a church altar as he killed Travis Marshall, witnessing her brother's act of murder firsthand. At first, Dexter's quick thinking and convincing lies calmed Deborah down, but she still had doubts. Over time, memories from the past, especially her encounter with the ice truck killer, started to make her wonder if Dexter had a hidden life. Determined to find out the truth, Deborah searched Dexter's apartment, where she found his blood slides and tools that he used for killing. Her worst fears were confirmed.
Are you a serial killer?
Yes.
Her brother was a serial killer, and she had no idea. When Deborah directly confronted Dexter, he couldn't lie anymore and told her everything about his double life. This discovery changed their relationship forever, leaving Deborah to struggle with the painful truth that her own brother was a killer, and the more painful reality of still trying to love him. Hannah McKay, a killer with her own dark past, uncovered Dexter's secret under unexpected circumstances. Initially targeted by Dexter after he confirmed her role in several murders, he brought her to his kill table, sedated and wrapped in plastic. Yet rather than going through with the ritual, Dexter chose to cut her free and make love to her, acting on the irrational attraction he felt to her. The thought of killing her really turned him on, it seemed. Their connection on the kill table grew into a relationship where they both understood and accepted each other's dark side. Hannah directly asked Dexter why he planned to kill her, and he simply explained that he only targets bad people.
Why? It's what I do.
Kill people.
Bad people.
This answer helped Hannah understand Dexter's double life, and she accepted him completely, not bothered by his need to kill. The rare time where Dexter was truly accepted for who he is. Isaac Serco, a powerful mob boss, discovered Dexter's secret while seeking revenge. He began his investigation after tracing the last signal from Kaja Soraka's bracelet to Dexter's boat, a critical clue linking Dexter to the death of Victor Baskov, Isaac's lover. Driven by the desire for vengeance, Isaac confronted Dexter, forcing him to admit that Victor was not his first victim. Through careful observation, Isaac deducted that Dexter was a practiced killer, understanding the patterns and motivations that guided him. While seeking revenge for Victor's death, Isaac also acknowledged Dexter's skills.
My. You couldn't have described that better if you'd been there yourself.
Even teaming up with him when he faced threat from his own organization. It was one of the weirder friendships that Dexter had. Maria LaGuerta, the ambitious lieutenant at Miami Metro, began suspecting Dexter after finding a bloodslide at Travis Marshall's crime scene. Her discovery reignited her investigation into the Bay Harbor Butcher case, a case previously closed with James Dokes as the alleged killer.
Jesus, what if Dexter is the real Bay Harbor Butcher?
LaGuerta's relentless pursuit led her to gather evidence that proved Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher, and she arrested him. Dexter, however, turned the tables by setting her up to look as if she fabricated evidence against him. Recognizing that LaGuerta was determined to expose him, Dexter understood that her persistence posed a great threat to his freedom. He plotted to kill her, but in a shocking turn of events, Deb ended up doing it for him. Eventually, he staged her death to appear as if she had been killed in a crossfire with Hector Estrada, bringing her investigation to a tragic end. LaGuerta's discovery and pursuit represented one of the closest calls Dexter has ever faced, forcing him to take drastic measures to protect his secret, killing an innocent. Dr. Evelyn Vogel, a renowned neuropsychiatrist and specialist in psychopaths, knew of Dexter's secret long before most. Vogel had been involved in his life since he was a young child, working closely with Harry Morgan to design the code that would channel Dexter's violent tendencies. Vogel understood Dexter's need to kill on a clinical level. He even took pride in his adherence to the code, viewing him as a successful psychopath. This long-standing awareness made her a unique confidant for Dexter, as she offered insights into the origin of his behavior and guided him through his psychological challenges. However, Vogel's bond with Dexter came to a tragic end when her son, the brain surgeon who shared Dexter's darker inclinations, murdered her. Vogel's death left Dexter without one of the only people who understood him fully. It's weird, isn't it, that almost everyone who found out about Dexter's secret ended up dead. The penultimate person on this list, Zach Hamilton, was a young man who shared Dexter's dark impulses and found out Dexter was a killer under circumstances that could have ended his life. After killing his father's mistress to stop his father's infidelity, Zach found himself on Dexter's kill table. But instead of following through, Dexter saw himself in the young man and chose to spare him. Recognizing Zach's potential, Dexter became a mentor, teaching him the code and instilling in him a sense of responsibility for his actions. Zach became almost like Dexter's son and was a rare person who knew his secret and didn't see him as a threat. However, their relationship was short-lived. Zach soon became a victim of the brain surgeon, taking away yet another person who had accepted Dexter for who he truly was. The final person on this list, Oliver Saxon, also known as the brain surgeon, uncovered Dexter's secret in a chillingly methodical way. By hacking into Dr. Evelyn Vogel's computer, he accessed her files, which detailed Dexter's life history, motivations, and dark inclinations. This knowledge gave Saxon a disturbing insight into Dexter's mind, and he became jealous of Dexter's ability to maintain a perfect cover life while hiding his murderous urges.
You sure as hell knew how to help Dexter Morgan. You taught him how to deal with his condition. You gave him everything. You denied me.
While Saxon and Dexter finally faced each other in jail, Dexter acknowledged the destruction his life had caused, hinting at the impact of Saxon's understanding of his dark side. In a final confrontation, Dexter killed Saxon to avenge Deb, staging it as an act of self-defense. A confrontation between two killers with very different outcomes on their shared darkness. If you want to learn about every time Dexter broke Harry's code, watch the next video and be sure to subscribe. Harry's code, the code Dexter lives by, is as important to him as breathing. This code, developed by his father and Dr. Evelyn Vogue, was created to channel Dexter's violent tendencies into a positive force and keep him alive and out of jail. However, on 10 separate occasions throughout the 8 seasons, whether justified or not, Dexter broke Harry's code. Now before we begin, we must actually remind ourselves of Harry's code. Whilst it was a highly complex, it boiled down to 2 main things: don't get caught and never kill an innocent, meaning only killing other killers. The first incident was when Dexter killed Miguel's younger brother, Oscar Prado, in a moment of self-defense. At the time, Dexter was on the trail of Fribo, a low-life drug dealer who had already killed 2 young girls but had slipped through the system because of a messed up warrant. After finally hunting him down and entering the house he was hiding in, Dexter bumped into something unexpected: Fribo and an unknown man in a fight. That man was Oscar Prado, the troubled brother of Assistant District Attorney Miguel Prado, a highly powerful figure in law enforcement. What should have been a quick, calculated move turned into a chaotic confrontation when Oscar attacked Dexter, wielding a bayonet. With no choice, Dexter fought back, and in the heat of the struggle, he killed Oscar. But here's where things got really intense. As Oscar took his final breath, Dexter was hit with a wave of uncertainty. For one of the first times, Dexter looked genuinely shaken, worried that he might have crossed a line and killed someone who didn't fit the profile, a potential innocent. This moment haunted Dexter. He couldn't just move on and leave it behind. Desperate for answers, he dug deeper into Oscar's background and even attended Oscar's funeral, blending in with his grieving family and friends to see if he could uncover any proof that justified his actions. He couldn't. What's so crazy about this kill is that it sparked the friendship between Miguel and Dexter as they teamed up to find out who killed Oscar. Miguel didn't find out who his brother's killer was until he was wrapped in plastic at the end of season 3.
I killed my brother. I killed yours too.
You killed us!
Dexter's second code-breaking kill was also in season 3, when someone threatened the people he cared about. When Dexter first encountered Martin, it was when he spotted Astor talking to a man close to his age, and he immediately sensed this conversation was inappropriate.
Aisle 3, other side of the store. Ah, thanks.
This seemingly innocent encounter sent up red flags, so Dexter began digging into Nathan's background, and his instincts were correct. What he found was as dark as it gets. Nathan was a known sexual predator with a history of abuse, but Dexter couldn't kill him as he didn't fit the code. However, he changed his mind when he spotted Nathan refusing to back off and taking pictures of Astor at the beach. Dexter confronted him at a cafe.
Shut the fuck up, Nathan.
But he still showed no signs of backing off. He knew exactly what he had to do. After dark and significant stalking, Dexter broke into Nathan's house, ready to remove the permanent threat. Unlike his usual ritualistic kills, where Dexter meticulously sets up a kill room and follows every detail of the code, he went to Nathan's home and ended Nathan's life in a way that was quick, brutal, and deeply personal. This aberration from his normal killing routine really demonstrated that this kill wasn't about satisfying his dark passenger, but more about caring for the family he loved so much. On his way out, he picked up some milk from the fridge that Rita had asked for. The next kill that broke Dexter's code was in Season 3, Episode 4, when Camilla Fig, the record supervisor at Miami Metro, made the heartbreaking request for Dexter to euthanize her. Camilla Fig was suffering from terminal lung cancer, leaving her in constant pain and bedridden in the hospital. As her illness worsened with no hope of recovery, she had asked Dexter to help her and end her life peacefully. Initially, Dexter was taken aback and refused. Though he was no stranger to taking lives, the difference here was that Camilla didn't deserve to die. She wasn't a monster needing to be purged from society. Camilla and her husband, Gene, were close friends of Harry and Doris Morgan, meaning she basically watched Dexter grow up. She revealed that she knew his brother was the ice truck killer, showing a surprising level of insight and understanding of Dexter's complicated life. Camilla's words deeply affected Dexter. She reassured him that she didn't see him as a murderer. Even with her request, it was a powerful moment, one of the only displays of acceptance in Dexter's life. After reflecting on her words, Dexter made the difficult choice to honor Camilla's wish. He brought her one last piece of lime pie, but this time he laced it with a fatal dose of poison. Camilla passed peacefully, ending her suffering. This act of mercy showed beyond the dark urges driving him, Dexter was capable of empathy, connection, and even love. One of the more chilling moments in Dexter came when Dexter rushed to judgment and ended up killing the wrong man, fashion and S&M photographer Jonathan Farrow. Usually, Dexter followed Harry's code to the letter, meticulously ensuring his victims met the strict criteria for a kill. But this time, his drive to act on his darker urges meant he leapt to conclusions. After the arm of one of Farrow's models was found in a crocodile, Dexter suspected Jonathan Farrow was a man who abused his privilege and murdered his models. His violent tendencies and disturbing artwork led Dexter to believe he was a predator hiding behind his art. Dexter had gathered plenty of circumstantial evidence that pointed to Farrow's cruelty and sadistic tendencies, and saw enough to convince himself that Farrow was not only abusive, but likely the killer responsible for the death of several of his models. In Dexter's mind, the photographs alone seemed like a dark confession, and he let his disgust with Farrow's behavior blind him to the need for absolute proof. Acting swiftly, Dexter abducted Farrow, bringing him to his typical setup. But when Dexter confronted Farrow, the photographer protested his innocence, insisting that while his work was disturbing, it was done for the sake of art. Despite Farrow's protests, Dexter went through with the kill, unable to shake the sense that this man's sadistic art and cruel treatment of his models made him deserving of punishment. After the deed was done and Farrow's dismembered remains were disposed of in the Gulf Stream, Dexter felt a strange sense of finality, but his certainty would soon be shattered. Evidence surfaced soon after, revealing that it wasn't Farrow who was responsible for the model's murder. It was actually his assistant, Timothy Brand. In a brutal twist, Dexter had killed an innocent man, albeit one whose actions were morally questionable. This mistake haunted Dexter, highlighting a key vulnerability in his otherwise rigid code. One of the most striking moments in Dexter is when we see him snap. This break from his code came from one of the most traumatic events in Dexter's life, the murder of his wife, Rita, by the infamous Trinity Killer at the end of Season 4. Losing Rita shattered Dexter, leaving him lost and confused by grief, guilt, fury, and a swirl of other emotions he was not at all used to. Normally, the Code of Harry would help him channel his darker urges into a controlled ritual, but this time, Dexter's pain drove him to a place of pure, unchecked rage. This emotional fracture came to a head in a rundown waterside store where Dexter crossed paths with Rankin, a rude and obnoxious customer who antagonized him without knowing the pain simmering below the surface. When Rankin insulted Dexter and went to use the store's restroom, Dexter's anger boiled over. Without a shred of his usual restraint or preparation, he followed Rankin into the bathroom, bypassing all the steps of Harry's code and murdered him with a grappling hook, an absolutely brutal kill. This impulsive kill was a stark departure for Dexter, revealing just how deeply Rita's death had affected him. At that moment, it didn't matter. The murder was a raw release of anger, pain, and grief, showing that even Dexter's code couldn't always keep his darker urges in check when he was overwhelmed. However, Rankin wasn't the only time when Dexter mercilessly took the life of an innocent. The murder of Norm, the owner of the Shady Lane Motel, highlighted a moment when Dexter's impulses pushed him to kill outside of Harry's code. During his trip to Nebraska to track down Jonah Mitchell, Dexter stayed at Norm's motel. Although Norm appeared to be a harmless, if nosy motel owner, he made the mistake of attempting to extort money from Dexter, leading Dexter to act on impulse and kill him in an unplanned moment. Norm discovered Dexter's knives and, assuming Dexter was wealthy, demanded $10,000 in exchange for returning them. But little did he know the true reason why Dexter had these tools. At the time, Dexter was haunted by visions of his deceased brother, Brian Moser, who embodied Dexter's primal, unfiltered urge to kill. In a moment fueled by lust and self-preservation, Dexter's vision of Brian seemed to grab a pitchfork and threaten Norm. But as the scene unfolded, it was clear that Dexter himself had committed the act, ending Norm's life and yet another brutal departure from the code of Harry. Do you think there was another way out of that situation? If so, comment down below. In Season 6, Dexter broke the code of Harry not out of impulse or personal vendetta, but from a twisted sense of justice and protection for the innocent. In the episode, This Is the Way the World Ends, Dexter found himself in a life or death situation adrift in the ocean with other survivors after the Doomsday Killer left him stranded. When they were pulled onto a boat by Cuban migrants, what seemed like a rescue quickly turned sinister as the group's smuggler, Alberto, revealed his true intentions. At first, Alberto appeared non-threatening, even helpful, but his demeanor quickly shifted. He began demanding valuables from everyone on board, and things took a dark turn when he singled out a pregnant woman, holding a gun to her head. With nothing of value to offer, Dexter realized that the only way to protect this woman and the others was to act. Seizing a nearby boat hook, Dexter plunged it into Alberto's stomach, instantly ending the smuggler's life. This was no carefully calculated kill room scene. There was no plastic sheets or late-night stalking. It was a moment of pure instinct, where Dexter abandoned his usual ritual to stop an immediate threat. Though it broke Harry's code, it was something his father would have been proud of. This kill highlighted Dexter's moral complexity. In that moment, he didn't act from his dark urges, but from a twisted sense of protection, genuinely believing that he was doing what was necessary for the greater good. The 8th kill of this video was as unique as it was personal. Clint McKay, the father of Dexter's lover, Hannah McKay, was no ordinary target.
Pick your hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields. For so long, I fought for mutant kind's future. Our time has finally arrived.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
It ain't cheap. Asgard is not our concern. We should be fighting on Earth.
Every battle against Doom matters. You'll find that out when Krakoa gets to this timeline.
How do you...
You can see a lot from the astral plane.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
The Sanctum Sanctorum is my refuge, my fortress.
See them? Right there.
Your attacks are futile. Science and magic combined. You're welcome. Much better. Ow! That fucking hurt!
I like the cold. Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. We captured the mission area!
You're welcome. They shall not escape our wrath now. They shall not escape our wrath now. Better get a look behind.
Get out of the turret and face us, Punisher! Be strong together!
I feel like myself again.
Enjoy the fire!
You cannot hurt me. You're welcome. Ah, here they are now. Well, you got one.
By the eye of Agamotto!
You shall not be harmed.
Hits the ground!
This is real firepower! Leave them to consume.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. Control these!
Ah, much better.
Ready to rock and roll!
You got a tail. Insignificant gnats.
You're welcome!
Disappear! That one hurts. Escaping us now.
Your attack takes you out. Judge!
Someone shoot at us!
Vishanti got a tail. You should be ashamed. You need that shield.
Usually I create my own shield.
I feel like myself again. Magneto! A fatal attraction.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Hey, team! Enjoy the amplifier!
Wreak your creative destruction here.
Almost.
Armed and again!
Thanks for the shield.
Again!
Area's almost yours. Control lost.
My power cannot be quelled.
Relay, the Punisher's got some sort of nasty turret! You're welcome! This is real firepower!
Ah, much better.
Hits the grand finale. Disappear! You need
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
By the eye of Agamotto!
Always glad to help, partner. Perhaps we should give these humans good reason
Hey,
to hate
Magneto,
and
can I
fear us
grab
after all.
Tank real quick? No, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying it's your fault. But like I can run a solid comp with Doctor Strange here.
This is...
Be wary. No time.
I will bring peace to this.
True, eh? Well,
I
I just
was born
hope we
to
can get this
change
wrapped up
humanity
soon.
for the better.
I
That
have
time has
plans.
come.
The battle starts in 5.
Hey man, I appreciate you,
4,
bro. I appreciate
3,
you. I love.
2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
It took us a long time to learn that our powers are related.
Here comes trouble.
Quantum magic.
Systems restored.
Your soul unite.
I am straight.
I require some aid.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Even better than my muse power.
We captured the mission area.
Quantum magic. Power from the one below all.
Clear the way.
That's the stuff.
Dinosaur.
Feel better already.
I unleash the
This is real firepower! I am at your service.
Ready. Here come the bad guys. Everybody needs a hit sometimes. Or a
Watch
dagger.
this place.
Control seized.
They're probably gonna have all the alpha too, so I'm care for that.
You know what to do, spiders?
This place is curious. Keep an eye here. Finally! Somewhere we can cut loose! Healing power. I require some aid. Cosmic might. I am at your service. The cosmos heals you. Born again!
Disappear!
Armed and dangerous! Don't give him an edge.
Control lost.
Second chance is over. Our foes, healing power. That's the stuff. I have located one of our opponents. The Cosmos
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Ah, there you are.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Stronger together. Needed a little boost. Thanks. This is real firepower! This time I need healing.
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
Cosmos heals you.
I think the doctor is the doctor. They've almost got it. They got me out. So cold.
Our foes have your swords. Unite. Quantum magic. Born again!
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Armed and dangerous! Again! Again!
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
He was a manipulative, abusive, and cruel father who had emotionally and financially tormented Hannah throughout her life. Clint only resurfaced in Hannah's life when he saw an opportunity to exploit her for money. Despite his relentless mistreatment, Hannah still held out hope that her father could change, something Dexter knew would never happen. Clint's cruelty finally pushed Dexter to take action when he demanded $20,000 from Hannah, effectively blackmailing her with no intention of changing his ways. In a rare departure from his usual adherence to the code, Dexter decided Clint was a threat that needed to be eliminated. not out of duty to the code, but out of love and loyalty to Hannah. Dexter wrapped Clint in plastic, setting up his usual ritualistic kill scene, as though he were any of his usual targets, despite knowing Clint didn't meet Harry's criteria. This kill was deeply personal, and Dexter made sure Clint knew it. As Clint sat bound and helpless, he taunted Dexter.
You got the devil inside you, boy.
No, I think it's just me.
Round one,
For so long, I fought for mutant kind's future. Our time has finally arrived.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Aurora, I sense a strong magical lineage within you.
There were indeed witches and mages among my ancestors, Stephen.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
The Sanctum Sanctorum is my refuge, my fortress.
Even
Our
a little
enemies
storm
are near.
would shake this area to pieces.
My power knows no limits.
Some help.
Our enemy
Root's by himself.
You shall not be harmed. They shall not escape our wrath now. Now.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Approach this site with caution.
Armed and dangerous!
Usually I create my own shield.
Your attacks are futile. Much better.
Stop them!
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! This is
A nice deep freeze. That's the world!
You need not fear. May your bright lady carry you home.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be
armed and again!
I'm hurt.
Again! Again!
Double KO.
Again!
Mutants
Better
always
stop that
rise
vehicle.
again. I will crush them all.
Hurricane incoming!
Enemy in front of us.
Now or never. Stop them!
Whatever this beacon was, it is no more.
They got behind you. I suck. Everybody has a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
feel like myself again.
Tandy needs help.
You need not fear.
This is real firepower! Armed and dangerous!
Fear Magneto! You cannot hurt me. Exactly as I expected.
To my greatest hits! Don't mess with the amazing Spider!
You cannot hurt me. Ah, much better.
Stop them in their tracks.
You cannot hurt me.
Us against the world!
Fear Magneto! Kneel before Magneto. I will crush them all.
You stop them in their tracks.
Your attacks are futile. You cannot hurt me.
Yeah, we can look away now.
Just embrace the light.
This is real firepower! Armed and dangerous! Again!
May your bright lady carry you home. You need not fear.
I'll patch you up.
I'll get you.
My power cannot be quelled.
Don't give them another inch. Or else.
You and me again, old buddy. All right!
You shall not be harmed.
Wait, shields?
Do not expect me to do that again. Ah, much better.
Vision is swept away.
Turn around, quick. Only 60 seconds left.
This is real firepower!
Never grows old, Logan.
Anything could hurt me. Double KO!
Magneto!
Down to 30 seconds.
Ah, here they are. Magneto!
I unleash the Vishanti's power!
By the eye of...
Max won.
The final 10 seconds. Double KO! Like the grand
Mutants
finale.
always rise
Against
again.
the world. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
My power knows no limits.
Armed and dangerous! Again! Again!
Thanks for the...
Here they come now.
Mutants always
This
rise
is
again.
real firepower!
The current score is 0-3. Time to switch things up. including which side you're on.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
For so long, I fought for mutant kind's future. Our time has finally arrived.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Cataclysm makes for strange allies, doesn't it?
It has a way of stripping away our assumptions, yes?
That's not what I mean.
Oh, I think it is.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Wow. Can you believe a place like this exists?
I will crush them all.
Enemies are near.
Tanny needs help.
What a curious place.
I'm hurt.
One couldn't win without the other. Look out, behind us.
May your bright lady carry you home. I feel like myself again.
BP on height.
Ah, here they are now.
They got behind you.
Your attacks are futile.
In the dark.
Good thing I was here.
I wanted the CP behind them.
Mutants always rise
Time for
again.
my biggest hit.
I'm opening a portal.
Time for my biggest hit.
Acknowledged.
Pentagram of Parala.
Fear best
Tremble before fire!
They got behind you.
Fear Magneto! You are under my protection. Armed and dangerous!
That one hurt.
Again!
Firepower! Strength for this encounter.
Again!
Failed.
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift.
Fall back. Save some strength.
Only 60 seconds left.
I feel like myself again. Ah, here they are now.
Hurricane incoming!
Down to 30 seconds.
Fear Magneto! this domain. I have become vulnerable. I feel like myself again. Your attacks are futile.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
You are under my protection.
Over here.
No, we got a shield team.
We've helped get that vehicle to its destination.
I see that. Iron Beam.
May your bright lady carry you home.
Armed and...
Against the world. You need not fear. Much better.
Enemy needs help.
You cannot hurt me.
Guess we're Wakanda's official delivery service now.
Halfway there. Keep going.
It seems we have company.
Hold still. What's there? Only 60 seconds left. The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Delivery service now.
Look out, behind us.
Us against the world.
Armed and dangerous!
Much better.
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way. Just embrace the light.
We are the royal escort.
We must help this vehicle advance.
So close. This is a big chance.
Shanti's power! This is real firepower!
Only 60 seconds left. Double KO.
My power cannot be quelled.
Fall back. Save some strength. The Omega Hurricane is ready.
Oh, they do not look happy.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Right over here. Hit him hard.
Mark this
I
one.
feel like myself again.
Down to 30 seconds.
Our pace does not match the urgency of
They shall not escape our wrath now.
Hurricane incoming!
Hold still. I'm trying to help.
Armed and dangerous!
The final 10 seconds. Us against the world.
Behind us!
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Much better.
Co-op time.
This is real firepower!
Our enemies are near. I unleash.
You shall not be harmed.
All right, Ty. Now we really have to attack.
Magneto! A fatal attraction.
The current score is 3-2-3. Time to switch things up. including which side you're on.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
The right heroes could make all the difference. Round 3, go!
Alas, we can no longer hide from the dangers that lie beyond our shores.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Your idealism refreshes a battered old soul.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Part of me just wants to get back home, but I know I'm needed here. Nick? Nick?
Order.
My charge grows ever stronger.
Down to 30 seconds.
Sandy needs help.
She got behind that stick. Trying to help.
Might want to watch out over here.
A nice deep freeze. Double KO.
This is real firepower!
You are under my protection.
Shields up!
Incoming!
I feel like myself again.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
What a curious
You're
place.
mine. You know your spells, mage.
The current score is 3, 2, 3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. Round 4,
For so long, I fought for mutant kind's future. Our time has finally arrived.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
The winds may not be blowing in our favor, Eric.
When has that ever stopped us before, Aurora?
Be careful. There are some forces that even I cannot alter.
Do not forget, my
Let's
dear.
go.
We
Let's
are
go like all the way like
We
to
are
main and then like
change
to the
itself.
left and go to
There is
height.
nothing
The battle
You know what I'm
starts
talking
in
about? Like the
5,
little room.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, let's go on height.
To the mission area. Got it?
Fine.